Hi fellow traders. In this video I'm going to recap my Netflix trades from today. I've been trading this probably for 4 or 5 days now. It's been giving me some good moves, some good profit. And it really kicked off with the swing trade that I shared with everybody this weekend. But this morning I was at work, um, obviously coming back from a really, I've been off work for over a week, and going back to work, I was late, slow. Cut my computer on, late. It was after the market opened. I tried to catch it, but just couldn't. And when I cut my computer on, I really didn't have anything I was watching. I wasn't even thinking to look at Netflix. It wasn't really didn't have anything on my radar yet because I didn't get to watch pre-market, didn't get to check for gappers or anything. But it just so happens that um, this was the first chart that popped up when I logged into my Thinkorswim account, which I really just use it for charting and scanning and things like that. So I look at this, see it gapped up, um, and I already had these levels off the daily drawn from when I've been trading it over the last couple of days. And so automatically it's trading around this level of support. Um, it's trading near the VWAP, the 20, and the 9 moving average. So, automatically I was interested, and it was just a quick, you know, 5-10 second glance that I noticed all of these things. And I realized what everybody's been preaching all along, that the more you look at these charts, the more you trade, the more experience you get, the quicker you'll be able to identify setups. And I quickly identified this as something that was interesting to me. And I was watching this. I think it might have been green at the time. I can't really remember, but I remember saying this looks interesting. It could go either way. It could come down and bounce off this support and grind back, stay above the moving averages and the VWAP, or it could lose this support and fade. So I just didn't look at anything else. I just kept watching it, and this is what I saw. Um, this candle printed, started selling off, so I jumped right in because it opened below the VWAP, below the 9, below the 20, and below this resistance, or which was support. But now I was looking at it as resistance once it opened below it. So I went ahead and jumped in short. I think I got filled around like 101.25. I think is when I got filled, and I took it short. And I kept my close eye on the 200 right here because I thought, well, maybe it could bounce off of this and come back, but still I was keeping this as my stop at that point. I said even if it hit this and bounced, I'm gonna keep this as my stop. That was my plan all along. So I got a nice fade. Just kind of blew through the 200, came down. I was looking at yesterday's close. I call it the red to green line. I mean green to red line because it was green and here's going red because we're losing yesterday's close, and it just kept fading. But my profit target was this level right here, and this was off my daily from a couple days ago, just one of the levels that I had mapped out before. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of looking at the daily chart. I already had my entrance target and I had my exit target, my profit target. Everything was right there for me. And here we got a little bounce here. I'm only in 200 shares, so I thought about taking 100 shares off once this made a new high, but I said no. Even though I saw this, what I call a reversal hammer, this made a new high. It wasn't bouncing off support, and a lot of times when you see a reversal, and this is a textbook reversal setup, if it's not bouncing off support, 9 times out of 10 it's going to get stuffed at the 9, if it even makes it there. That's been my experience. So I didn't take it off. I kept holding. And then I got this big wash down. Had these two candles that pretty much traded, in the same range. And at this point, I'm thinking of taking the trade off because I'm thinking, well, it may be consolidating. This level may not be, 100% accurate. It could be off a little bit. It could be 10, 15, 20 cents off. But I had my finger on the trigger, and I got this nice red candle here. I thought it was going to go lower. It didn't, and got this candle. And once it hit like right around this area, I started looking to take off. I didn't get filled, I think, until like 95 is when I took it off. I tried to get filled, down here, but the stock popped up so much. Even though I did a market order, I didn't get filled until like $95, which still was good. Still a good trade. I was happy with it. And really stuck to my plan, because I could have easily taken it off here and could have easily taken it off up here, when I saw this action. But I gave it a little room, stuck to my plan, and got out with the pretty good trade. Okay, well, later on in the day, I'm going to keep watching it. A lot of times when I trade a stock and I get a big move like this, I'm going to keep watching it, because there may be another big move in store. So still using this level, I said to myself, if this thing goes up and comes back and we lose this support, then I'm gonna go ahead and take the trade up, take it short again. And so that's what I did. Once I got the fade, I took it short. I think I entered actually a little early right here, and it came back up a little bit, but never closed below this right here, this level. I got this candle. It opened, just above it, and then faded back below it. And right here, I'm thinking I'm going to get the flush. So I'm excited. I'm looking for it to get down to, let's see if you can see it on here. I don't have it on here. But I was hoping to at least get down to this lower deviation band. And that was kind of my target for this. But as you can see, it came down. It kind of held here, the 93.50s. Had a nice support here that came in. I don't know where it came from. I don't remember seeing this on the daily, but it could have been something I missed. But you can see this level kind of held, and then it started grinding back up. And once I saw it start to turn and grind back up, I went ahead and got out. It just wasn't worth it. I knew my trade, my theory was wrong, my thesis was wrong. When it starts making higher lows and it starts just grinding up, if you're short, you take it off. Don't wait for your stop. So I did. It actually reversed. I know some people in chat actually took this long from here. So if you had enough shares in, that still was a pretty decent move. but I didn't lose any money, which was good. I was, you know, I read the chart right, read the price action right, was able to get out with a small gain. But this was my big trade, and that's usually been what's happening. I get a big trade early in the morning, close to out of the gates, and then later on I get a suspect trade, that sets up real nice. Thought I was gonna get the wash, but end up not really making a whole lot. Or I think in one case I actually gave money back. But all in all, I was pleased with the trade, pleased with the way I handled it. And the biggest thing is you have to let your winners run. I'm just not a fan of when you have a small account just taking profits. You get a little move and take profits. Get a little move, and take profits. I'm a firm believer in if you have a plan, stick to it. You want to continue, if you have a trade that's winning, my stop was here. Once it proves a winner, then my stop's going to be the 9. It's going to be this moving average. Because as long as this moving average is trending down, the stock price is going to go down. And once it reverses and it comes above it, that's when you want to take it off. Unless you have a predetermined, price target, which is part of your plan, you go ahead and take it off. You stick to your plan. And then you watch, and see what the ticker is going to do. And that's just what I've done. And I think if I continue to do that, I can continue to get these big gains, out of one trade. And I could pretty much shut it down in that day and go home. It's just one of those things that once you trade for a while and you start looking at where you make money and where you lose money, you tend to focus on that time frame. So I did take another trade today, but I've taken, this was my biggest trade. This was my most profitable trade, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, thanks for listening, and see you next time.